My guest is Catherine Austin Fitts of Solari.com. Catherine, thanks for joining us today on USAWatchdog.com.
Happy New Year, Greg. 2025.
Yeah, well,
this is going to be a blockbuster.
Well, you have your year in review, which we take a look, and then it goes forward and pumps out tons of information. You've got 13 stories in your year in review, but one of your top stories is the Trump pivot.
Yes.
The Trump pivot. Everybody's looking for Trump pivot. First, before we start with the Trump pivot, you think he'll get inaugurated? You think he'll get the
Absolutely.
So you think the election will get
99.9% chance Trump gets inaugurated?
And why are you so strong about that?
Because if you look at the factions that finally came around and supported him for president, they intend for him to become president. So, this time around, he's got the establishment behind him.
Well, John Brennan, former CIA director who was out with, the Hunter Biden laptop, his Russian disinformation and everything else, and also set him up back in 2016. John Brennan, he's praising the Trump transition team. He's praising.
Brennan is afraid he's going to lose his classification, clearance, so that he can stop charging huge and hideous amounts of money to people.
Everybody who stepped up, and the New York Post had 50 some odd people with security clearance, all saying that the Hunter Biden laptop is Russian disinformation, which we now know is a huge lie. And so,
well, it's very interesting. If you look at the last time around, there were certain personnel issues that Trump left alone. So he really didn't go into the bureaucracy and turn around and dig out the DEI sort of indoctrination. And he, as far as I know, he never pulled a lot of those classification clearances. And all the people who were running around trashing him were making huge and hideous amounts of money because he didn't pull them.
Wow.
Now, this time, he and his team are much more knowledgeable about the nuts and bolts of the personnel systems in Washington. And Trump has the power to pull these things if he wants.
You said in the pre-interview, they was talking about the Trump pivot. And you said, I know the election, was the 6th of November, but that's when it really started. What does that mean when you say the real fight started on the 6th of November?
The real campaign started on January 6th, is what I'm saying. So, Greg, if you look at how the federal budget and federal credit work, in part because the dollar is the reserve currency, the cash flows that come off of the federal budget literally run the global economy. It's not just the domestic economy, it's the global economy. Okay? And even though the U.S. share of the global economy has diminished in recent years, because of the changes in the economy, I would say it's as powerful as ever. And because so many countries around the world have debt in U.S. dollars, they're all in a debt trap, sort of tithing to the U.S. empire. So when we say the Trump pivot, we're not talking just about a pivot of the United States. We're talking about a pivot of the world. And we see two models competing globally. One model says we want to be part of international institutions and run things through the World Bank, the IMF, the BIS. Another says, and this is what we've seen from Putin and Xi Jinping, we still want a national sovereign entity, and we want to run our sovereign entity, or the way I said it in the 2016 election was, the faction that won is willing to sacrifice the empire to preserve the nation, not vice versa. So Trump is clearly one of the nationalists, and oddly enough, same as Xi Jinping and Putin. So he's about making America strong again. And so you're seeing a pivot that is going to affect the whole world.
Martin Armstrong brought this up, and some other folks have brought this up too, and I see a consensus that money is going to come into America. The dollar's not going to fall.
It's not going to come in. It's been flooding in.
Dowd says the same thing. Dowd says the dollar's going to actually go up. Now, someday it won't, but the dollar's going to go ahead.
Right now, the dollar's strong. very strong. Go take a look at the U.S. dollar index. So the dollar is strong, but the U.S. stock market has traded way ahead of the European and Asian stock markets, and it keeps doing it. And right now, if anything, it's a bubble. Financial Times just had an excellent article saying, essentially, how long can the American stock bubble last? But the money is coming in. America is becoming the destination offshore haven for many, many places around the world. So right now, it's like a body in trauma. The money's going into the center, and it's coming into the U.S. Now, when I said the campaign starts today, or starts the day after the election, you have a lot of people who voted for Trump who wanted to see Trump protect freedoms. You have a lot of people voting for Trump or donating for Trump because they think he can get them the control grid. So think of it this way. The centralization team and decentralization team, are both hoping that Trump does what they want. The reality, though, is everybody wants their check, and so Trump's got to do something that works economically. And what happens is the first day, he's asked to fill the top 10, 20 positions. And ultimately, after you fill the cabinet and the other top positions, then there's another 10,000 positions to be filled. So, sort of the president does 1,000, and then those 1,000 do the rest for about 10,000 positions. And what's happening is, the guys who want the control grid are trying to get their people in place, and the guys who want freedom are trying to get their people in place. And so the debate is happening one position, one staffing at a time. And after you get the people in place, then it's going to have to be battled out one policy at a time. So I'm a great believer that Kennedy will get confirmed, but once Kennedy finds himself over at HHS, he's going to have to fight to get the data out of the bowels of the organization, and then he's going to have to fight to get that data up, and then he's going to have to fight to change the policies. So this is trench warfare, and it's not going to be decided by the election. It's going to be decided by the staffing and the policy debate that happens day after day after day.
You wonder why we can't get any information out, and you brought this up in the pre-interview about the unbelievable, people don't even realize this. You think, I got a government job, and I get a government check, not an NIH. No, you have a government job with a government check, and you get royalties. Talk about that. Talk about, you were like, talk about this, I thought, no wonder why we can't get...
an announcement that NIH is receiving $1.1 billion from BioNTech and Pfizer for the COVID vaccine shot. Now, it's interesting because that headline, I read that headline on Mark Skidmore's website, Lighthouse Economics, literally after reading his new study that he just published that says, if we went back to the disability levels of 2010, the deficit would drop $500 billion a year, $500 billion. Now, you just had Ed Dowd on USA Watchdog, and he talked about the fact that they've added, I think, 800,000 people to the disability rolls. We're up to 4 million people. So if you look at the numbers and connect the dots between your interview with Ed and Skidmore's new study and the announcement of royalties to NIH, we are paying NIH $1 billion to poison the American people in a way that is poisoning and bankrupting the country.
That's just BioNTech and Moderna, right? That's just the...
No, and Pfizer.
And Pfizer. So, that's just BioNTech and Pfizer are paying that. What about all the other kickbacks from all the other drugs? I mean, why would you want any other job? Let's see. I have my tip money, which that's my government check, and then I get my real money. This is what Kennedy has to clean up. Go ahead.
I will never forget being challenged because I'd had lunch with a home builder when I was Assistant Secretary of Housing, and I was able to prove that, because I had the receipt, that I had paid for my lunch, which was $37. So I was challenged for being corrupt by having lunch with a home builder, and luckily, since I'd paid for my $37 check, I had the receipt, I could prove it. Now, when I was in Washington, that was considered a conflict of interest to have lunch with a home builder. So imagine getting $1.1 billion from industry. Things have changed a lot since then.
But that's just for the COVID-19 bioweapon. That doesn't count all the other drugs, all the all the other junk they get kickbacks on. I mean, all these weight loss drugs, Wegovy, and all that. I assume that all these drugs they're getting approved and they're getting kickbacks from it. Are they not? And this is this is what Kennedy has to clean up. Go ahead.
If you read Kennedy's book on Fauci, you can read a lot about how much money they've gotten in kickbacks. The kickback system into the federal health bureaucracy is frightening. So I would strongly, if you're interested in this, I strongly recommend you read Kennedy's book on Fauci. It's excellent.
Well, Dow, what he came up with an extra, just in November, an extra 800,000. Now it's 4.8 million. That's almost a 18% increase in disabled people who can't work, not people who are sick or injured, people who can't work, people who are done, they're finished.
Right, but it's worse than that, Greg, because you're talking about families that now have no income.
Oh, Lord.
So you're not just talking about, and this is what I ran into with vaccine injury when I was an investment advisor or other healthcare frauds, because it's not just this. So what I would see is, when you poison a person like they're getting poisoned, or you engage in malpractice, you not only destroy or kill a person, but you can destroy and kill and bankrupt a family. If you go to Soliri, we put together all these.
God says, "My child, this is alarming. What was hidden is now being revealed. What was spoken in secret is now coming to the surface. What they thought you would never find out has now reached my ears, and I cannot stay silent." Yesterday, a private meeting was held. Behind closed doors, behind the walls where they thought no one could hear, plans were made, decisions were set in motion, and your name was brought up. 3 people, ones you once trusted, ones you once thought were on your side, have been speaking about you. They have come together for a single purpose: to remove you, to push you out, to take from you what I have given. But my child, listen carefully, what I have ordained for you, no one can take away. What I have placed in your life, no human can undo. What I have spoken over you, no voice can silence. You have felt it, haven't you? That strange shift in the atmosphere. That sudden tension when you enter the room. That unexpected coldness in the eyes of those who once greeted you with warmth. You have sensed the unease, the whispering that stops when you approach, the messages left unanswered, the distance growing where there was once closeness. This is not your imagination. This is not coincidence. This is real. And it is happening now. They believe you are unaware. They believe you will not see it coming. They believe their plans are hidden in darkness, but they have forgotten, nothing is hidden from me. I have watched as they spoke, as they nodded in agreement, as they set their minds on removing you. I have seen the conversations in secret, the decisions made in the night. They have gathered against you, but my child, I am telling you now so that you are not caught off guard. I am revealing this to you so that you will be ready. I am making this known to you because I love you, because I protect my own, because I do not allow my children to be blindsided. The ones involved are not strangers. The ones speaking against you are not distant. These are the ones you have shared with, the ones you have helped, the ones you have stood by. The very ones who smiled at you, who embraced you, who assured you of their loyalty, These are the same ones who have gathered against you. And now, the truth is coming to light. The exposure is happening. The unseen is becoming seen. But do not fear. Do not be shaken. Do not allow your heart to tremble at what I am revealing. Because though they have gathered, they will not succeed. Though they have conspired, their plans will not stand. Though they have decided to remove you, they do not have the power to do so. For I, the Lord your God, have placed you where you are. I, the one who formed you, the one who called you, the one who has walked with you since the beginning, have already set my plan in motion. And my plan overrides every scheme, every secret conversation, every decision made against you. This is the hour of revelation. This is the moment where the hidden things come to the surface. My child, be watchful. Open your eyes. See beyond what is being presented to you. The faces you look at daily, the words that sound kind but are empty, the actions that seem supportive but are deceptive, begin to see them for what they truly are. The ones who have gathered against you have underestimated me. They thought they were only moving against you, but they did not know that by doing so, they were moving against me. Do you know why this is happening? Do you understand why this shift has taken place? It is because you are stepping into something greater. It is because you are moving into a new level. It is because the things I have planned for you are bigger than what they can handle. They see you growing, and it threatens them. They see you rising, and it unsettles them. They see you walking in the favor I have given you, and it disturbs them. So they have gathered, they have spoken, they have agreed, but they have made one fatal mistake. They have left me out of their plans. My child, listen carefully. In the coming days, you will begin to see things unfold before your eyes. The signs will be clear. You will overhear conversations not meant for your ears. You will see behaviors shift in ways that confirm what I am telling you now. You will notice inconsistencies, moments where truth slips through their carefully crafted lies. And when you see these things, do not dismiss them. Do not explain them away. Do not make excuses for those who have already chosen their path. Instead, stand firm. Stand in the truth I have given you. Stand in the knowledge that I have already gone before you. They expect you to be unprepared. They expect you to walk blindly into their trap. But my child, I am making you aware. I am giving you the wisdom to navigate this. I am giving you the discernment to see through the illusions. You will not walk into their plan unaware. You will not be caught off guard. Because I am with you, because I am guiding you, because my hand is upon you. Be still and watch. Do not move out of fear. Do not react out of emotion. Let me handle what they have set in motion. I will turn their plans upside down. I will cause confusion in their camp. I will expose them to each other. The very ones who agreed against you will begin to doubt each other. Their unity will crumble. Their confidence will shake. What they intended to do to you will begin to backfire. And you, my child, will not be touched. I am your shield. I am your protector. I am the one who lifts you up when others try to bring you down. You will not be removed. You will not be displaced. You will not be cast aside. Because what I have placed in your life is yours. What I have promised you remains. What I have spoken over you will come to pass. Now prepare yourself. Walk with wisdom. Do not let your emotions lead you, but let my Spirit guide you. Watch how things begin to unfold. Watch how I take what they meant for harm and turn it around for your good. Watch how I reveal the truth so clearly that even those who doubted you will have no choice but to see. This is your moment of revelation. This is your season of exposure. This is the time where I make all things known. And my child, you will walk through this with strength, with grace, and with my presence surrounding you. Stand firm. Trust me. Watch what happens next. My beloved child, hear these words and take them to heart, for I speak to you not in vain but with purpose and divine clarity. Before the foundations of the earth were laid, I knew you. I formed you in the depths of your mother's womb, crafting you with care, with intention, with love beyond human comprehension. Every breath you take is because I have willed it. Every step you have walked has been before my eyes. I have watched you grow, struggle, rejoice, and weep. I have heard your prayers, both the ones spoken aloud and those kept in the secret chambers of your heart. Nothing is hidden from me, and nothing escapes my understanding. There is something I must reveal to you, something that has been hidden in the shadows but is now coming into the light. You have felt a stirring in your spirit. You have sensed that something is not right, that an unseen force has been moving against you, that whispers have filled rooms where you were absent. Your soul has been uneasy, your nights restless, your days filled with unspoken tension. That is not your imagination. That is not paranoia. That is discernment, my child. And today, I bring forth the truth. A meeting was held, a private gathering where your name was spoken, not with honor, not with love, but with deceit, with manipulation, with intentions that do not align with my will for you. 3 voices spoke, 3 hearts aligned in a decision, and the course they have chosen does not have your well-being in mind. They have sought to remove you, to erase your presence, to take what is rightfully yours and shift it into their hands. They believe you do not see, that you do not know, that their plans are concealed in secrecy. But I, the Lord your God, see all things. I hear what is spoken in secret places. I expose what has been covered. I reveal what has been plotted in the dark. You must understand that this is not something to dismiss. This is not a trivial matter. This is a pivotal moment in your life, one that will determine the direction of your path, one that will require your strength, your faith, and your unwavering trust in me. For too long, you have walked among those who do not truly walk with you. For too long, you have called them friends, family, allies, when in truth, they have not carried your best interests in their hearts. Their words have been sweet to your ears, their gestures have seemed sincere, but beneath the surface, there has been another motive. But do not fear. Do not let anxiety grip your heart. For I have gone before you. I have made a way where there seemed to be no way. I have positioned you for a greater purpose, for a higher calling, for a destiny that no human hand can steal from you. Though they have met in secret, though they have spoken against you, their plans will not stand. For what I have ordained cannot be undone by the schemes of men. What I have set into motion cannot be halted by earthly whispers. What I have prepared for you cannot be taken by those who walk in falsehood. But, my child, I need you to listen carefully. I need you to heed this message with the seriousness it deserves. You cannot remain where you are and expect change to happen without action. You cannot continue to surround yourself with those whose hearts are divided and expect to rise into the fullness of what I have planned for you. You must make a choice. You must open your eyes and see who is truly for you and who has only pretended to be. I am exposing them not to harm you, but to free you. To liberate you from the ties that have held you back. To release you from the burdens of false relationships, deceptive alliances, and hidden agendas. It will not be easy. You will feel the weight of disappointment. You will wrestle with the pain of realizing that those you trusted have not been trustworthy. But take heart, my child. For even in this, I am with you. Even in this, I am strengthening you. Even in this, I am guiding you toward something greater. Do not mourn what is lost, for what I will replace it with is far greater. Do not hold on to what I am removing, for what I am giving you will bring life, peace, and joy beyond measure. I know you feel weary. I know you have been carrying a burden that seems too heavy to bear. But I say to you, release it to me. Trust in my plan, for my ways are higher than your ways, and my thoughts are beyond your understanding. I see what you cannot see. I know what you do not yet understand. What seems like a loss now is truly a divine redirection. What seems like betrayal is actually a revelation that will protect you from greater harm. What seems like an ending is the beginning of something new, something blessed, something anointed by my hand. Do not look to the left or to the right. Do not be swayed by the words of those who try to convince you otherwise. Fix your eyes on me. Keep your heart aligned with my will. Move forward with confidence, knowing that I go before you, that I stand behind you, that my presence surrounds you on all sides. I am calling you higher. I am calling you into a new season. Do not cling to the past, do not hold on to the familiar out of fear. Step boldly into the unknown, for I am there. I have always been there. My child, this is your moment. Do not delay. Do not hesitate. Do not second guess what I am revealing to you now. Walk in faith. Walk in truth. Walk in the assurance that you are never alone. You are loved. You are chosen. You are protected. And no plan formed against you shall prosper, for I am your God, and I will not allow it. Stand firm, my child. The best is yet to come. God says, my child, you must listen with great attention, for what I am about to reveal will bring clarity to what you have been sensing in your spirit. There have been discussions behind closed doors, conversations held in secrecy, and decisions being made that concern you, yet you have not been invited into the room. There are 3 individuals who have gathered, aligning themselves in a way that does not serve truth. They believe that by moving in the shadows, they can change the course of your path, remove you from what is rightfully yours, and alter what I have already declared over your life. But I say to you now, do not fear, for I am in control, and their plans shall not prevail. You have felt it, haven't you? The sudden shift in energy, the unspoken tension, the moments when your name was spoken, but no one would meet your eyes. My child, you are not imagining these things. Your spirit has been stirred because you are sensitive to the truth. I have allowed you to feel this discomfort so that you would turn to me and listen. I am revealing what has been hidden. I am showing you the hearts of those around you. Not to bring you distress, but so that you will not be blindsided. The 3 who have gathered, they have convinced themselves that they hold power over your situation. They have whispered among themselves, making decisions based on assumptions, fueled by motives that are not pure. They have come together not for righteousness but for control. But my child, I sit higher than them all. I see the beginning and the end. And before they could even conceive of their plans, I had already written the outcome. I need you to understand this. No one can remove what I have ordained for you. No one can rewrite the destiny I have declared over your life. No matter what they plan, no matter what they discuss, no matter how much effort they put into their schemes, they will not succeed. Their own words will turn back on them. Their own strategies will unravel. What they have built in secret will crumble before their eyes. Because I, the Lord your God, am stepping in. You may wonder why I allow such things to happen. You may ask, God, why must I go through this? Why must I be surrounded by those who do not have my best interest at heart? My child, you are being refined. You are being strengthened. This is not to harm you but to prepare you. You are being positioned in a way that requires you to discern, to rely on me, and to separate yourself from those who cannot journey with you into the next season. There is a woman among them. Her words are coated with sweetness, but her intentions are not pure. She has smiled in your presence but spoken differently when you are not there. She has aligned herself with others, seeking to manipulate the situation in her favor. She believes she has been clever in covering her tracks, but I say to you, nothing escapes my sight. This woman has been operating from a place of self-interest, moving pieces behind the scenes, thinking that you will not see the full picture. But the time of exposure is here. Pay attention, my child. The signs are already present. You will notice the sudden inconsistencies in their words, the unexpected hesitations, the strange avoidance when certain topics arise. These are the cracks in their foundation, the signals I am allowing you to perceive so that you are not caught unaware. You are not alone in this. My presence surrounds you. My hand is upon you. You are safe. Nothing will go wrong for you, because I am your protector, your guide, your defender. Even when they speak against you, their words carry no true power. Even when they plot, their plans cannot bear fruit. I have placed a shield around you that cannot be broken. What they meant for harm, I will turn for good. This is a moment of separation. You must walk forward with wisdom. Do not react out of frustration. Do not allow anger to consume you. This battle is not yours to fight. It is mine. Your responsibility is to remain steadfast in faith, to pray, to trust, and to keep your heart free from bitterness. There will come a moment when the truth is undeniable. You will not have to seek it, it will be revealed before you. The exposure will happen naturally, for I am the one orchestrating it. This woman, and those who have joined her, will see that what they attempted has not only failed but has worked in your favor. They will witness the blessings that I am bringing into your life, the doors that I am opening, the increase that is coming. Their words may have attempted to remove you, but my word has already positioned you. My child, you are established in a place they cannot touch. I have assigned favor to your name. I have written your destiny in a way that no human hand can erase. Do not fear their decisions. Do not be troubled by their actions. They hold no authority over what I have promised you. Stand firm, my beloved. Walk in confidence, knowing that my light goes before you. Trust me when I say, you are protected, you are provided for, and you are moving forward into a season where no deception can prosper against you. The exposure has begun, and soon, you will see why everything had to happen exactly as it did. You will rejoice, my child, for I am lifting you to greater heights, and nothing, absolutely nothing, will stand in your way.